Welcome to Right-of-Way Part 1. Today we're discussing the definition of right-of-way and the right-of-way rules we need to follow on residential or neighborhood streets. The California Vehicle Code states that right-of-way is the privilege of the immediate use of the highway. Great, what does that mean? Basically it means the person that has the right-of-way who is entitled to go or whose turn it is to go. And there's a set of rules we need to follow that will help us determine who has the right-of-way or when it's safe to go. If I don't follow those rules and I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to go out into the street, I'm just going to enter traffic, I could impede someone's right-of-way, which is a ticketable offense or an automatic fail on the drive test. Heck, it could even lead to an accident. And even if I have the right-of-way, I've got to be ready for someone else on the road to impede my right-of-way. People make mistakes. Now, drivers entering traffic must yield to existing traffic. This includes cyclists and pedestrians. So let's say you're taking a trip somewhere. You're going to leave the curb in front of your house and go to the store, go to a friend's place. Before you leave the curb, you need to make sure that the street is clear. There's no existing traffic, bicyclists or pedestrians. If one of those has to slow down or swerve for us, we've just impeded their right-of-way. So we don't start our trip somewhere with the right-of-way. We have to yield to it. Now, same thing when you're leaving your driveway. When you leave your driveway, you need to make sure that both directions of traffic is clear before you pull out. Even the sidewalk has to be clear. If we impede someone's right-of-way, it's a ticketable offense or an automatic fail on the drive test. Now, pedestrians always have the right-of-way, right? Even if they're not using a crosswalk, which would be called jaywalking, but normally they'll be using an unmarked or a marked crosswalk. Now, an unmarked crosswalk is an intersection that connects sidewalks, curbs, or edges of the road. We have to yield to pedestrians there. Pedestrians will also be using a marked crosswalk, which is a little more self-explanatory. There's lines painted in the street and often a sign that says, hey, here's a crosswalk. Now, we don't want to stop in a crosswalk or sidewalk as that's dangerous to pedestrians because they have no safe place to cross. Here's the right-of-way rules in a neighborhood or residential streets. Let's start with all-way stops. So if you're the first car that gets to an all-way stop, you have the right-of-way. You get to go first. If you arrive at the same time as another vehicle, whoever's on the right has the right-of-way or gets to go first. And lastly, if you arrive at the same time as a vehicle across from you, whoever's going straight has the right-of-way. Now, at a two-way stop, traffic without stop signs has the right-of-way. If you're making a left turn on a through street without a stop sign, these are sometimes called rolling turns, we need to be ready to yield or give the right-of-way to all approaching vehicles that are close enough to be dangerous. On a right turn on a through street with no stop sign or a rolling right, we need to be ready to give the right-of-way or yield to pedestrians or cyclists on the right. Now, at an intersection with no stop signs, or maybe there's a yield sign like you're at an uncontrolled T intersection, we need to slow way down 2 to 3 miles an hour. We need to be even ready to stop if there's existing traffic or traffic approaching that still includes pedestrians or cyclists that could be dangerous. And then when it's clear, we can go. Now, that's your right-of-way rules on neighborhood or residential streets. Now before we go, let's do a quick review. Right-of-way is basically who's entitled to go or whose turn it is to go, and we follow a set of rules that help us determine right-of-way or whose turn it is to go. Without that, we would impede each other's right-of-way, which is a ticketable offense, automatic fail-in, could even lead to an accident. Even if you have the right-of-way, we've got to be careful. We've got to drive defensively because people make mistakes. They could still impede our right-of-way. And lastly, we want to be extra observant of cyclists and pedestrians because they're often overlooked. Thank you for watching Right of Way Part 1. Good luck on your drive test and see you in the next video.